What's up, you guys? G here. Welcome back to another one of my videos. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone who is joining, and appreciate everyone already hitting the like button for me. That means a lot, helps the channel out as well, and kind of spreads out the videos with the algorithm. But today we've got a Polestar update. Also, it'll be the first video for Polestar this year. Then we'll talk a few different articles I just want to cover, gather some news for you guys. So we'll go through all that, and then we'll definitely take a look at the chart because I do like where we're headed right now. We're back above $5, which is very good sign of relief, I think. And then we'll kind of talk a little bit about Tesla. I think a lot of people are talking about Tesla deliveries, so we'll kind of bleed a little into that and just give you guys my thoughts and the overall economy, EV sector, and everything. So let's go ahead and get started. This came out just a few days ago, but basically Polestar just hit a major electric vehicle goal delivery for 2022. And this actually came out in a tweet from Thomas, CEO, which we'll kind of cover in a little bit. But Polestar have been executing all year. They've been doing the hard work and is starting to show off. And I mean, I'm just pretty exciting that they actually hit 50,000, right? They got it just in the nick of time. And basically, it's not just talk, and it's also actually delivering these, right? So you might start seeing more Polestars out on the road. Let me know in the comments if you see any around your area. Some more hot markets would definitely be like California, of course, and Florida. Those are more EV friendly, so you might see a Polestar one of these days if you're out in that area. But definitely building a good brand for themselves. Polestar partnered up with Hertz. You know, we got that 65K deal, which is kind of in the back side. Like, we don't really worry too much. We know that deal's going on, but yeah, I think it's been doing pretty well. Publicly as a stock, it's not the best, but I do think we are looking for some upside soon, hopefully. And then of course we've got the Polestar 3, so different new market and gonna be a new price tag, but this should definitely kind of solidify Polestar as a company. So let me just run down to where the news came out. This is a tweet that came out from the CEO. December, Polestar Cars has been a crazy mission with an all-time high of deliveries. Team has been working extra hard right to the end of the year. And then he basically said mission accomplished. Now the goal was 50K, and I'm tweeting this out for the most part, you know, solidifies that we did get those 50K productions done and delivered, hopefully. He also talked about, or he replied to a comment on a previous post. There was about announcing an actual press release or a PR about the 50K production being met. So maybe we could see one of those in the coming week, see if they actually produce that as an article and actually put it on their website as well. But this is the big news for the most part. Polestar hits 50K vehicles delivery goal, and that's basically according to himself, Thomas himself. So let me know what you guys think. It's pretty good news. It came out just a few days ago, but everyone's kind of busy with holidays. I was busy with holidays, and here's the actual tweet if you guys want to check it out. You can kind of read and kind of be nosy and read some of the replies. I also did manage to find the place where he was responding to some of these, I guess, customers or investors. An important step is announcing that 50K production goal has been met, and he basically celebrated with a pumping champagne bottle or whatever. So I do have some more news though, and this is basically with respects to Norway, and basically what this is saying is they hit an 80%, I believe, market share this year, which is great because so this is the Norway nation hits record EV share in 2022 on his way to ending gas car sales, and I think it was 80%. So Norway hits 80% EV sales. And the only reason I'm going to bring this up is because, if you guys don't know, Polestar is actually in the top 5. I think they're actually top 3. I got this article ready for you. This came out early in 2022, but Polestar 2 was the third best-selling EV in Norway during February, with 384 units, up 47% month over month. So this is very good. This was early in 2022, February. Obviously, in cumulative, it's only 50,000 vehicles delivered. So this, but this is still good news that, you know, they're one of the best selling vehicles in Norway. And for the most part, the entire Norway market, auto market, is basically transitioning over to EV. I think this is great. Hits record 80% EV sales share in 2022. So Just kind of want to combine those two things together, give you guys an idea of what's going on there. And then also, we did get some new guidelines as far as the tax credit incentives, and basically this is going to be more bearish for Polestar. I think they're still, I think, kind of messing around with the details on the new guidelines, but previously I think Polestar did qualify for the incentive. And so EV tax credit for consumer leases a positive development for industry. I think this is going to be more bullish for Tesla, just from some of the stuff I was looking at, and a little bit more negatively impacting Polestar. But you guys can kind of flesh out the details and stuff. But for the most part, I got a different article that can kind of help explain this. And so under these new inflation reduction details that they're basically expanding, I can show you guys the numbers or the vehicles that are currently supported with this new starting January 2023. It might be upstairs, actually, higher up. Sorry, I had this article ready, but I guess I changed because I was browsing through it. Okay, so here's every electric vehicle that qualifies for the current and upcoming U.S. federal tax credit. So you can read through this stuff on your own, but I just want to show you guys the table with the current setup. And if I can find it, I just had it pulled up. Okay, I can't find it anymore. Here we go. I guess this is it. Okay, what vehicles qualify for the tax credit as of January 1st, 2023? And here's the numbers. Basically, I guess, let me go back to the other one. Some of the requirements basically are vehicles need to be below certain price. So 55K for cars, and then 80 for SUVs and pickups. Buyer's income needs to be 300 if you file jointly, and then I guess single filer is 150, so just half of 300. The percentage of critical battery materials and battery assembly needs to be US based. And then here's kind of the tricky, fuzzy final assembly of the vehicle to take place in North America. So as you guys know, most of the Polestar vehicles are actually produced out in like different plants in China and stuff. And so that's where it kind of gets tricky. And also, I guess some of the percentage of the materials, they need to be US based. And so last year, Polestar actually did qualify for this credit, 7,500. And I can show you guys that really quick. So this is the current tax credit, and this is like prior to 2023. You can scroll on down. We have a long list of all these EVs that basically qualified. Lucid Motors was in there, Mercedes, BMW, Nissan, Polestar 2, 2021, 7,500. The long range was on there. And surprisingly, Tesla not currently eligible for tax credit, right? Then you also have Rivian. But now with this update about this China, or not China, but it has to be basically manufactured in the US. And like I said, they're still fleshing out these details and stuff. You can see Polestar has been removed from this list. And now Tesla, which was previously not there, now their Model 3 and Model Y are going to, I think, potentially qualify starting in January. So that's why I kind of said it's kind of a bullish thing for Tesla and a little bit more negative impact for Polestar, at least in the short term, because I do think Polestar is going to obviously come to the North Dakota or South Carolina. I'm sorry, and then the P3 will definitely become hopefully eligible for some tax credits, but that's way down the line because P3 is not even supposed to be ready by till like Q3 or Q4. So don't think this tax credit thing is going to be good for them in the short term, but once they get that going, should be something to look forward to. So yeah, this is just, I guess, negatively impacting them, and you guys can kind of go through and read some of these details, but I think that's a pretty good, hopefully I kind of broke that down pretty well. So just changes to the US federal tax credit starting this year, which is positively impacting Tesla and negatively impacting some of these other non-US manufactured EV, so BMW and stuff like that. So what's up, Big Kahuna? Welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you guys too. 20K just in the last quarter. Inflation reduction would benefit GM more than anyone. That's facts though. They have more selection within the tax credit. Exactly. I didn't even pay attention to that. I think Ford got removed from this list. I think. Let me see. Gotta scroll on down. Oh no, Ford's still here. Yeah, Ford's still here. GM is not on here anymore. But like I said, oh, there it is. They're up here. My bad. I forgot GM goes under Chevy. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like all US based manufacturers are definitely going to still benefit from things. But I guess the main thing to point out here is Tesla got added and negatively Polestar got removed. And some of the other Euro stuff like BMW and Mercedes, I believe, got off. Yeah, so just something to point out there. Let's move on along since we're kind of talking about European stuff. This is a pretty big announcement. This came out today or yesterday. Volvo enters autonomous driving market via company acquisition. So they were kind of already invested in Zinseq. It's an autonomous driving hardware and software supplier. But today they basically announced that they fully acquired them. So now they're basically under the parent of Volvo. And this is going to positively impact Polestar and Volvo because they've got software and hardware that's going to help produce the P3. But let me just read some of it. While many automakers now view autonomous driving products as the auto industry's future, recent history has shown that it can be a high volatile market. A month ago, Ford was forced to divest from its autonomous vehicle company after struggling with profitability. Now hopes to try its hand buying out autonomous software and hardware supplier Zinseq. Volvo had already purchased some shares of Zinseq, but now has purchased the remaining shares from minority owner eCarX. So yeah, now Zinseq's 100% Volvo, and basically what they're going to do is help power the P3. Most recently, Zinseq worked with Volvo to introduce autonomous driving capabilities to the upcoming EX90 P3, and they're also becoming subsidiary of Volvo. So they'll kind of basically get some benefits from it. And I believe they're working with NVIDIA. Yeah, they're working with big names like NVIDIA to help deliver this product. So I did look at their website and stuff. There's not really much to go off of. Honestly, it's just AI-powered software for autonomous driving and advanced driver assistance. Combines in-car software and cloud services to offer rigorous protection on the road. And there's like a few different steps on it. I'll have to find it. Yeah, so offers 3 different modes of operations: drive, cruise, and ride. So in drive mode, you drive, helps avoid collisions. In cruise mode, supervision, you take control when needed. And then in ride mode, you relax and it takes complete control of the car. So I think it's pretty interesting. You guys can definitely check this out on your own. But obviously it's going to be something that comes with P3, Polestar 3. So that's one of the main reasons I wanted to mention this, is because basically Zinseq is under Volvo, and for the most part, most of the time, Polestar benefits from anything that Volvo's basically involved in. So, but let me know your thoughts. This is kind of small stuff. The big thing, obviously, is the 50K, and I guess some changes in the tax credit. It's also kind of big now that I think about it. But let's talk about these production numbers for Tesla. How are you guys feeling about these numbers? I was reading a little bit through it. Obviously, they missed expectations. I think it's like 400,000 something that they were expecting. They only got 405, so they missed the target. And there's a few different things to kind of take away from it. Obviously, maybe demand or slowdown in production. There's got to be some reasoning behind. Also, I think they're doing extra incentives and things like that. So let me show you guys some of the numbers. Company handed over 405, 278 vehicles to customers in the last 3 months, short of the 420. No memes there, but average estimate that Bloomberg was basically compiling. So it's still a record year for them. I mean, they're growing pretty big. I think it's like 30 or 40% that they grew from last year. But it's just, I mean, at the price that Tesla's trading at, it's definitely not going to be taking well if they miss any delivery stuff. I think the stock was going to get impacted negatively because it has a high PS ratio and just forward guidance and stuff. And then I think the other thing I wanted to show you guys is they're cutting some of their prices and some of their production in China. And then they also, on top of that, offer the 7,500 discount. So in an ideal world, the 7,500 would be good. Cutting prices and vehicles would be kind of good. But I think some of these things could be concerning because with higher interest rates, basically people can take out less loans to buy a car. People have to start, taking care of more necessity things and more luxury things. So just in general, I think the automotive market kind of suffers in recession times, and Yeah. So, yeah, this is kind of alarming, I guess. Um, and you guys already know how long it's been down. There's one article I want to touch on, and it's actually a pretty good one. It's basically Tesla car sales grow slower than expected, implying concerns. And so we'll kind of just read a little bit of this, and then we'll kind of get to the charts if you guys are interested in that. So, delivery Mondays, last 3 months of year rose 18% from previous quarter. Obviously disappointing the analyst. And so they need to get back to focusing on making vehicles rather than being on Twitter is what they're saying. The numbers I've already kind of showed you guys. This quarter 405, last year's same quarter was, or this, I'm sorry, yeah, this past quarter was 343. So a total of 1.3 million in 2022, 40% increase from the year before. So I was close on the percentage. It said 30%. Where's the important stuff? Fourth quarter delivers were well below forecasts of analysts who have already lowered their expectations, and less than Tesla executives have suggested just a few months ago. So they said that they would do about 440 this quarter, so 34,000 more than it delivered, suggesting that supply chain problems and production woes were not the main explanation for disappointing sales. And so that's kind of, if it's not like a production supply chain thing, then it's more of a demand issue. So they're obviously producing stuff and they're cutting production, so it's not like that's the issue. It's more like on demand. So that's kind of weird too, because like just in general, some of the other automotives, they're showing some weakness in the market, but then Polestar hasn't said anything like that. So I don't know if it's like different in different markets, because the biggest sellers for Tesla are China and the US. But Polestar, I feel like European has a pretty good market for Polestar, and some of the other like Australia and some of these other ones. But what do you guys think? Let me read a quick comment. I still expect Tesla to go down below 100 for capitulation, maybe 90. The competition is getting heavy and their profits are taking a hit. Yes, and that's a very good point. The competition, I think I was reading a little bit about that. Maybe I can find it. So one of the reasons, and I was going to talk a little bit about this, Tesla's offering the Model 3, Model Y in China, and they're doing $1,400 like incentive or whatever. Basically, just because they are seeing like some China demand slow down, but also competition, right? So Polestar's kind of in that market now. You obviously have NIO and stuff, so definitely market share is decreasing for Tesla, I think. And they're basically going to continue this little incentive thing starting in 2023. So it is a little worrisome. So that's one thing that's very good about Polestar or some of these other ones, that they've been beat down, but Tesla was like pricing in so much forward guidance and stuff. So now they've got to come back down to more realistic prices, I think. Yeah, company faces more intense competition from traditional automakers. Ford, General Motors, Volkswagen, exactly on point. These companies have decades of experience mass production vehicles cheaply, and some investors believe that these car makers would catch up with Tesla more quickly than expected, right? And so that's kind of something I've talked about a little bit. Back then, you could only really invest in Tesla because that was the only EV and publicly traded. If you wanted to invest in Ford, you were still investing in more like ICE vehicles and stuff. They hadn't really transitioned. You kind of would get a sense that they would eventually do that pivot, but Tesla was pricing in a lot of growth that nobody really had exposure to. But now you have Polestar, you have Lucid, Rivian, like a lot of people, a lot more options, right? So people don't have to, if they want to buy an EV, they don't have to just simply buy a Tesla. Where, I mean, back then Tesla was a unicorn. It was, it was the only thing. If you want an EV, you either had to go to Tesla, or you had to settle for like a hybrid and get like a Chevy or something like that, or a Prius or something. But now that there's actually full EV vehicles out there, I just went to the BMW dealership today, and they've got BMW chargers there for some of their cars too. So it's like there's different brands and automakers that you can actually pick up now. Yeah, so that's all good. Tesla also faces softening consumer demand, partly because of rising interest rates. Yeah, so people higher interest rates means people can't borrow the same amount of money as they used to. So Now that you gotta be more strategic on with what loans you take out, so that kind of hits demand a little bit, and that's gonna be for everything, not just Polestar, Tesla. It's like all the industries. So that's about the wrap up on the news, I think. Let's hop on over to charts. So we were talking about $5. This was actually very good. One thing I want to point out is I think end of December we were talking about potentially selling and stuff. Surprisingly, we haven't really seen much selling. So either some of the investors didn't get out. Also, I think if they wanted to get out, they probably would have gotten out just to do tax harvesting. So I think the selling for that shareholder lockup might be over, possibly. But the safe number for me is going to be like 540, and we've kind of talked about this before, right? We had a huge consolidation here, gap up, came back down. We had this as a support, and then once we broke that, we were going to fill that gap there. Now we have this ascending support here, but we have $5 as a support as well now. So these are basically the levels that I'm watching. And we talked about this 540 range for a while. I think we were back here and then kind of went up there and obviously got rejected. So we're kind of in a weird spot right now. I think we might pull back a little bit more, but as long as we as long as we hold $5, I think we should be good. And you can kind of see it pulled back and it's starting to climb back up. Now this could potentially form like a double top here, like a smaller time frame double top. But that's the main target, is to break outside of this range, right? So it could basically go up here and then get rejected. And then, I mean, we could definitely see $5 if we break. I guess the main thing you want to see is it holding an uptrend, right? So it's probably going to go up to 540, my guess, just depending on the market. But you really want it to break out and then go back to the break outside, because I think if we can get outside of 540, then we'll be looking pretty good. I'll be feeling a lot more confident. People don't want to buy at the bottom, right? People want to buy when the chart's obviously showing a change in trend. And what I mean by trend is we were basically in this downtrend. These red lines here were basically broke out of that. So I think the chart looks good, looks a lot better. And this could also be, I guess, possibly an inverse head and shoulders still technically. Let me see if I can zoom out for you guys. Inverse head and shoulders, or you could do a bull flag here, I think, something like that. Or you could even do the cup and handle. So this would be the cup and handle here, kind of short. They're not going to sell until the 11th. I thought they could start selling at the end of December. I was doing the math on one of these live streams, these last live streams, and I can show you guys. It's like 180 days since we went public, and I think the day we went public was like in June. Let me just look it up. You guys can help me, correct me if I'm wrong. Polestar IPO. We'll just do that. It was June 24th. Polestar becomes latest public merger to go public via SPAC. Began trading on Friday under ticker. So this was Friday, June 24th. What we're gonna do is days between. Maybe I got it wrong the last time. Days between. Let's do that really quick. Oh wait, add days. Yeah, add days. We want to do add days. So June 24th. That really quick. 2022. Then we're gonna add 180 days. Pretty sure 180 days is the calculate new date. So yeah, December 21st is what we got last time, or something around here. Like in last week of December. So we've already basically traded like 2 weeks, I would say. I know it's kind of a slow volume week for just because of the holiday season, but some investors, it looks like they were able to get out. So they're not going to sell until $11. Who's not? Oh, maybe you're talking about the investors. Yeah. I guess what I'm just saying is they're able to sell from what I think. Yeah, no, I think the chart looks great. Finally forming these higher lows. So this will be the first low here, and then we're finally breaking into higher lows. But the main thing is to get above 540, I would say. And then you start looking at other ranges. We can start looking Where's my line? I guess you would obviously 640, that's the next range there. You got consolidation here basically. So this is why I would think this level's pretty strong. We got there. So history around here, right? We've got some struggle going above this level, some struggle going above this level. And then on the downturn, we were using this as a good support. So this range, I guess like $1 increments is basically a good summation. So yeah, that'll be the next level that we would watch. Right now it's inside this mini range here between the gap. So the gap is filled, that's nice. Now we're breaking back above. As long as we hold $5, I think we can continue working our way up. And then from a bigger picture, like I showed you guys, we're outside of this downtrend, right? This red line that I got marked out there. So I think the chart looks good. What do you guys, how you feeling? Bottom is done at 410. Yeah, hopefully. I think we've covered the chart pretty well on the channel here, so I'm feeling good. Support levels though, if we get underneath 5, then I would honestly just watch the support here, which because I can just draw this out longer, like right here. I would just watch this line. Basically, if we break under 5, we still have like 480 as support now because we've got some consolidation days here. But I think everything looks pretty good. I think the overall market looks bad. The Tesla numbers are bad for just the sector. But I think the chart itself looks nice. And it's pretty cheap, $5. How are you guys feeling though? The next earnings is huge. It is, and 1.2 billion approximately. Just yes, and they're not going to have that listing fee, which is going to bring down some of their cost, right? So which is within the exactly just the P2. So we'll definitely look at guidance because I think guidance will be a thing too, right? We'll start seeing how their P3 is going. I did share some details about the acquisition with Volvo, so that's good. They've got features coming with that. And then I mean, the first thing we talked about today was the 50K goals met by December 31st. And just looking forward to these new earnings, right? Like I said, we don't have any listing fees, which is nice. And then also, I guess MACD here, unrelated, but it looks like it might be crossing, which is nice. So I think we could consolidate around, as long as we hold $5 as the main level, I would say. I think we should be all right. I think we could consolidate here, but these are like the two different ranges, like 5 to 540 and then 540, I guess to 6, you could say. But yeah, let's just put 6 up there. Yeah, we can have, there's just different ranges. This range here, this range here, and this range here. But yeah, I think that's all I have. SPY, I don't know, the feature's open yet. Let me check real quick. Hold up, I got a text real quick. Yeah, we're good. How's everybody feeling? It shouldn't make this video too long, about 28 minutes long. I think we did pretty good. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any comments? Any thoughts? How's everybody feeling with their shares? So futures are up. Yeah, let's go. That's good. They're up 0.34. I can show you guys futures. We'll show some futures really quick. And then if you guys have questions, I'll answer them. If not, we'll wrap up the video. Let me go to my watch list. I think that's where I have them. And then tonight I'll be back on, hopefully, and we'll talk about just stock watch or whatever we have listed. These are the futures, Hang Seng futures. Looks like these aren't open yet, actually. But the SPY futures are open right here. Here we go, 0.34%. Oh, it's 0.3 now, but yeah, we're up right now. And I think this is very optimism. I think a lot of people are probably done tax harvesting. Those same people that sold for like a tax loss, they're gonna hopefully start buying stuff back in, right? If there's no news, I feel like the market either does like this, and we can pull up the market. I guess we should pull up the market. But for real, the market either, like, if there's no bad news, it does this sideways movement, upward kind of tilt. It's kind of like diagonal tilt to the upside. If we get bad news, then obviously you get these sell-offs. But yeah, that was basically what was happening. And it's if you're a bear like I am, it's bearish. I mean, but right now I think the SPY is consolidating here. I think we're getting ready for a break. And I think some of the data coming up this week will definitely kind of pivot for us. So I think that's about all I have. Do you guys want to talk about? Let's see. We're gonna do a separate video, but yeah, I'm really excited for the Polestar and for Tesla. I guess Tesla needs to show some strength, and then this will help all the other automakers. Looking for the MACD crossover on the daily. These are all daily candles, gap fill, as higher levels, higher lows, and then breaking out of 540. Now, like I said, if we get under 5, then we could retest the lows again. Because I did talk about this head and shoulders one time, right? There's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. But if we can get back above this range here, that would be very nice. Because then it would mean this isn't even a head and shoulders, and I'm overthinking stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys tune in to the next live stream. We're gonna do a stream with just stock watch list and stuff, and I don't really have much else to say about the chart. You guys can see this is the super resistance here at $8. This is probably where a lot of people are like shorting it heavily. So that's gonna be a strong resistance, but I think slowly and steady. Also, I want to point out, like, obviously the economy is like super bearish and it's like very depressing and stuff, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight, and it's not going to just happen the first day of January. And that doesn't mean stocks will only go down. It's like going to be a lot harder than you think, right? So like just because we're bearish or some bad news, that doesn't mean things are going to, you know, capitulate like overnight. So like example, Tesla, like, yes, it had a huge sell-off, but I think it was up these last 2 days, right? So if you started shorting again, now you're down. So things like in the long term, I think obviously more downside, but short term there can be these big swings, and that's why this market's like very difficult. Like, it's hard to make money right now, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Tesla, I don't even know. This thing, I don't know. I think it could probably go back up to 155, 150. Just based off like charts here, because it sold off pretty aggressively and it's held this, I guess, 120 level. It's reclaimed it. And also, like, I was watching some of these other YouTubers and stuff, and just like some things to think about is like, you know, the Fed's gonna manipulate stuff, right? So it's not like everything's gonna go straight down. They're gonna try to kick the can down the road, and that's why like the SPY hasn't like just straight sell it off, like sold off. Like, it comes down, comes back up. It's just very difficult, right? But this will be a pattern that I watch. This pennant right here, this can definitely break out both ways. It can go back up, and I think we might break back up just because we have a gap up here. So that's the thing that I'm bullish for, is the gap up here. To the downside, 370 is probably the downside, 368. To the upside, like 396 for the gap fill. I expect a good positive response tomorrow. Yeah, I think so too. Hopefully, yeah, main things to watch for Polestar is if they announce the 50K like as actual PR, that would be nice. Holding $5, I think. So I don't know if you guys saw, but the day's range was 512 to 539. Ended up close. It was down for the day, but it ended up closing towards the high. So there's definitely like strength in it, especially on a very low volume day. I think it only had like 1 million in volume. Let me just pull up those numbers really quick. Go though. Hope you guys are having a good day though. Let me show you guys the metrics here. So it was like a very low volume day. That's very good because it's like either the shorts are on vacation or they're just not shorting anymore. But the volume was only 1.8. On average 2.8, and so it ended up closing towards the high. 539 was the high, 531 was the close. Then it kind of algoed its way back up, so it looks like maybe shorts are stepping off the pedal a little bit, which is good. And yeah, you can see that here, right? So broke above, then consolidated, pulled back, and now it's looking to get to the basically this resistance. 6 likely 6.2 with meeting the last quarter goal. You think $6.20 will be tomorrow? I think that's a big move. That's a big move. I think, yes, I think $6 is more realistic. I mean, not tomorrow, but Yeah, I don't know. 580. I would say 580 is also a range you could add in here. These are on smaller time frame picks. 620, that's like, I mean, I wish I was buying more shares here, not gonna lie. I'll be looking for a pullback to 5, and then I might add some shares again, honestly. Let me show you the number for 612 though. Are you saying 620? Like, let's just say 630. He has like an 18% move. And I mean, it's done like some big moves. I think anything like close to 5 is a good entry for me, honestly. I would be missing like 15%. If I started buying shares, like more shares here, I would miss like 13% from the lows, near the lows, which is not bad. But I'm going to be cheap, and I'm going to wait to see if I can get them closer to 5. Add some shares. Yeah. The thing I like about Polestar is, like, overall, like, yes, the economy is bad, but I think in an ideal world, like, everything is kind of firing on all cylinders. They've basically had targets. They've met their targets. They're actually executing things. They've raised cash because they know that they're aware that they might need that. Like, and then they've got Volvo, like, and they're getting like benefits through that, and Geely, hopefully expansion into, you know, the South Carolina stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Valuations is still, I mean, it could be high, but I don't know. 466 million shares, 2.48 billion. It's the price to sales is not bad, like, because we're bringing in like a billion, so it's like like a 2 price to sales maybe. Yeah, we can actually look at some of those things too really quick, and then I'll wrap up the video because I think people that watch the video later get mad because I make these long ass videos. Let's just do PSNY. Market cap 11 billion. Is that right? I don't think that's right, is it? I don't think that's right, is it? At $5, I think that's right actually. 11 billion. Why did this say market cap 2.4? Yeah, I don't think that's right. This is right, 11 billion. So at $10 it was a 20 billion market cap. So yeah, this makes sense. But 11 billion, so they're like trading at like 10 price to sales or something. 4 price to sales. Oh right, they don't have any of these income numbers because they haven't been trading long enough. Fuck, I can't really help them because most of these numbers are still not publicly. After they trade in the market for like a year, then you can get these trailing 12 months data, and you can start looking at stuff. But based off 11 billion, and they're bringing in like 1 billion a year, it would be like a price to sales of like, what would it be? Like 10, I think. Forward price to sell is 2. I think this would be like a 10. Price to sales, I believe, is market cap divided by revenue. Let me see. Shows how expensive a stock is. Market cap divided by revenue. Yeah. We'll get some numbers hopefully soon. Sorry that I didn't help with that. But yeah, I like the chart. Anybody have questions? The cost to borrow is high. Yeah, we got that. How do we find that cost to borrow? Where do we go? Fintech. Let's go here. Artificial intelligence. Let's just look the stuff up before I close up shop. Then we'll be back and we'll do some stock market news or stock list. I'm making this video way too long. My bad, y'all. Let's just look at ownership. Oh, we gotta go to short data. It's been a while since I used this. Okay, days to cover, 4.82 days. Short interest of the flow is 4%. That's pretty big. Short ratio volume is 58%. The stuff that Kahuna's talking about is down here. This is last timestamp. Shorts available to short 10,000 coming down. And then it looks like this is what the borrow rates are. Wow, it's 100%. Wow, that's crazy. Entry trade every 30 minutes. This represents borrow rates for the day with the rate at start of the day, end of the day, minimum rate, maximum, and unlike the options implied borrow rates, our source for this data always presents them as positive numbers and represent annualized interest rate that is paid by the borrower for shares. So it looks like they're paying about, I guess, minimum 100% of what they're shorting. Is that right? And then the short volume ratio is 58. It's still relatively high. Lower volume though. You can see 900,000. This used to be like in the millions, or the millions. Anyway, that's a quick rundown of some of the stuff that you guys are talking about. I'm gonna wrap up this video. I appreciate those that tuned in and those that added some good commentary in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Big Kahuna and BB, appreciate you guys hitting the like button for me. We got some good likes today. Appreciate it. If you guys have questions, let me know in the comments, or let me know what other content you guys want me to cover. And yeah, I hope you guys found some value, and I think we presented some good data today. We'll be back later with another video. Wish you guys a happy new year, and yeah, let's make this one a good one. You're doing great. Keep it up. Appreciate it, man. You guys take care. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.